Hello and welcome to On-Set Secrets. I'm Nicole.
And I'm Charlotte, and we are here to lift the curtain on what it's really like to work behind the scenes in film, TV, and content production.
Our guest today is Ola Christian. I actually know Ola and have known him for about a year. He is a lovely person and has a really interesting career trajectory. His company is LaVille. It's been going for a decade now. It's an award-winning casting and production company, and their mission is to create more representation both in front of and behind the camera.
He's always had a passion for filmmaking, the arts, and that's what keeps his brand so fresh and exciting today.
Welcome, Ola.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So we already know each other.
Yes.
So we were both on an accelerator for a company called MeWe 360 together, and we both run production companies essentially. And I really wanted to have you on because you have a really interesting journey, I suppose, to where you are today, and you're doing amazing things with LaVille, your company. We always start off the podcast with foot in the palm door. So that is how you got into the industry, your career trajectory, and I know that you didn't start in film, so please tell us, how did you get in?
Well, no, thank you for having me first and foremost. Like, it's an honor to be on this podcast with you guys. So thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
You're making me shy. So with LaVille, LaVille is a casting and production company. We focus on showcasing underrepresented talent in front and behind the camera. And, I started that in 2015, 2016, around that time. And yeah, it's just been a journey, just a journey of ups and downs and just so many different things. But when I started, if I go back, let's say A-levels, I was studying film studies, psychology and politics. And, coming from a Nigerian household, like your parents are going to put pressure on you and be like, what's film now? And I'm like, Mom, I love film. I love TV. Like, it's something I really want to get into. But to make her proud, I decided, okay, let me go to uni, study business and marketing. And I went to University of Hertfordshire, which was really cool. Some really great people I met there. And I did the course, and, I left the course. I was like, it's all right. I feel like I could have learned this on YouTube, but YouTube wasn't as proficient as it is now. But yes, I left uni and I thought, okay, I want to be in front of camera initially. So I kind of got into some acting things just to kind of see what it was like. And, I did a web series, then I eventually did like a TV show. Then I was like, feature film for Legend of Tarzan. And it was an interesting experience, because you're just learning new things, different things, meeting people, being treated a certain type of way. Someone sending a cab to your house to bring you onto set.
I know,
I'm thinking, it's wild.
So I was like, what? Get a cab to my house to take me onto set? I was like, this looks good. Like, let me focus on this. And
get used to it.
Yeah, you get used to it, right? And then, I was doing it for a while, and as an actor, you get loads of lull periods or loads of void periods where you're not working. So it's like, what do you do to occupy that time? So if you've got a part-time job, are you, I don't know, singing on the side or gigging on the side if you've got musical talents? And I just thought, okay, let me start up a company, which sounds kind of weird. It's like, okay, I'm acting right now, but let me start up a business. And the reason why I wanted to start up a business was because I was working in a call center with a bunch of actors. There was like 300 actors in there. I was thinking, why are we all here like making calls, trying to sell bird packages?
Wasting your talent.
Wasting our talent, right? Or the little talent I had. And I thought, okay, let me just try and galvanize everyone and showcase their talents. So we started to do headshots and monologues. And then we shared them online because we did them in a bit of a unique way. A couple of them went viral. So people were like, oh, who's this company that's kind of showcasing talent? And yeah, we just started to build a community. People came to our studio, started to do events, partnered up with a few companies. And then I thought, okay, I'm getting some traction here. Let me park the acting on the side and focus on helping my community because I'm able to earn, I'm able to support the people that I want to support. And yeah, from there, we just kind of snowballed into some of the stuff that I'm sure we're going to get into. But that was the infancy of LaVille and my journey into this space.
Interesting, because often when you speak to founders, they didn't have the intention to be a business owner or a founder. It sounds like that's similar for you. Like you didn't go in with the intention of running a business, kind of happened organically.
Yeah, it was super organic. And I had no plan to run a business. Even though I studied business and marketing, I thought that was just the easiest course to study, more so than me wanting to actually run a business. You find yourself in a situation, you see there's a problem, and you figure out, how can I address this? Or how can I help somebody along the way? And for me, I thought, okay, do you know what? I know a lot of people. I have access to people because I've been in the industry in front of camera, so I have a few contacts I can leverage. And I'm pretty confident. So I feel like I can make things happen. So it was just nice to be able to be like, okay, let's give this a go and see what happens. You know, the hardest thing is always getting started. So I got started, and then here we are.
And here you are.
Exactly.
And what does your day-to-day kind of like look like? What does your role involve at LaVille?
So my day-to-day looks like addressing the team and saying, hey guys, you know, this is the agenda for the week or for the day. So we have a casting and production side. So if we have a production project, of course, that's going to take up a lot more capacity, especially depending on the scale. The bigger budgets, the more capacity is going to take up. And that could mean, you know, reaching out to some freelancers that we want to collaborate with, or some in-house people in our team, and saying, okay guys, we need to allocate these amount of resources to this project. With the casting department, it kind of runs itself a little bit now. When we have briefs that come in, I'll review the brief. I'll kind of say to people, okay, cool, this is something that we can do, this is something that we can't do. And then I'll offload those projects to the casting people in the team. So it could be casting assistants or casting directors in the LaVille team. And then they'll work and oversee the projects on a case-by-case basis. So on a day-to-day, that's what it looks like. I could be on set as well. So it could be a music video that I go to set for. It could be a commercial. It could be a short film, feature film. I could pop down and have a chat with the execs, the producers. And a lot of times are spent on emails as well. You know, communication's key in our industry, and trying to keep on top of the admin is really, really, is really, really fun.
Fun.
Yeah, fun.
Hard.
So yeah, exactly. But I think when you have a team, you know, a company is a conglomerate of people, and when you're able to delegate and have people who can support you and you support them, it makes that process a lot easier, especially if you like the people you're working with as well, right? So yeah, that's what the day-to-day looks like.
Is this running the company, is that kind of like the first time that you've had to sort of manage a team, and like, how did you kind of like navigate that? Was it really tricky at first, or how did you find your feet?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. Yes, officially yes, but when you look at life, depending on, you know, your upbringing and what you've had to do, you know, in my household, I was the man of the house at a young age, so I had to manage my household. Yeah. And then with my football team, if I was a captain, I had to manage my football team. If I was given responsibilities of looking after my little cousins, I had to manage my little cousins, you know. Or in the workplace, you might be promoted as the senior lead in whatever place you were, and you might have to manage the team. So I wouldn't say it was my first time leading, but it was definitely my first time managing a team within a business, which is a bit different, because you have to just be sensitive to everyone's needs, their background, their cultures, where they come from, what they're going through in their personal life, how they can work best in your environment and in the culture that you're trying to manifest. So yeah, it's definitely a lot of challenges along the way. Some things I got right, some things I got wrong. You really understand the value of a good staff member when you lose them.
Oh hell yeah!
Like,
only when they've
gone. Right, you're like, oh my
God, that's what they did.
That's what they did. And then you
Don't leave me, Charlotte, please. I value you now.
I'm gonna have to take her from
Just mine.
So, but yeah, so you really, really do understand the value of good team members when they're there. You do see it, but when they're gone, you really feel it. you know, you really do feel it. So I would always say, you know, the most important thing that you do in your business, if you're scaling up, is recruiting the right people. Honestly, it just makes such a big difference. One good person is worth way more than 10 average people. I'm telling you now, because that one good person would hire more good people.
Yeah.
And everyone wants to work with them as well. So,
It creates a good culture,
100%.
which is really important too.
100%.
So I'm really interested that, you know, because it's been 10 years now of LaVille, which is incredible. Congrats. It's such a huge achievement, and you've done amazing things over that time. How has the business changed from, you know, when you first started versus now?
TikTok.
Just two easy on TikTok.
No, I'm joking. There's been a lot of shifts. I would say where the industry has been when we started versus where it is now, it's like it's night and day. But at the same time, there's still common threads that go through. So when I started, like, you know, one of the biggest things I wanted to address was making sure we're seeing representation in front of the screen. And when I started, I didn't really see many shows with people that look like me, and, like, you know, a lot of Black women who I love to support. Like, you know, we really push Black women on our platform, and we didn't really see that when I started. And just going through the years, you're starting to see, you know, more of it. Is it enough? No, I feel like a lot more can still be done. And there's still a lot more that can be done with representation in general. If we're talking about TV shows that are being commissioned, if we're talking about opportunities that are being provided to people, how they're being treated when they get into certain rooms as well. It's not just about giving the opportunity, but are you treating them with, you know, good value? You know, is there equity that they're provided in these spaces?
And making sure it's legit and not performative.
Exactly. You know, and that's the hack there, because, you know, during BLM and that time, you know, you saw a lot of performative actions from businesses. It's like, okay, sure, we'll work with this Black-owned company or Black-owned business, or we'll recruit this person from this background. And after 6 months or a year, it's like, the opportunity is no longer there. Not because they did anything wrong, not because they were bad, not because they couldn't perform, just because it's not suitable in that climate anymore to promote them or to want to put them in the forefront. So for me, just seeing that journey was quite interesting. And yeah, I think there's just a lot more that can still be done. But I'll also say, you know, there's been a lot of positives. I'm seeing the creator economy that has shifted, which has been really, really good. There's a lot, the barriers to entry are just lowering year on year because of platforms like TikTok, like I mentioned, and how YouTube is the new TV. You know, everyone's spending their time. Like me, if you come to my house, YouTube's just playing all day. Like the whole day. And, you know, and I feel like creators have a lot more autonomy now, which they didn't really have before. Before, it felt like they were gatekeepers, or you needed to go somewhere in order to get something. Whereas now, all you need is your iPhone, a tripod, little microphone, good lighting like you guys have here. And you can create something, and you can profit off of that thing. You can use that to educate people. You can leverage your own brand, build your personal brand, which is another thing that's kind of shifted. You know, personal branding has always been important. But now, in my humble opinion, I feel almost your personal brand is just as, if not more important than your business, you know, because people want to work with people. You know, that's never changed. You know, and if I want to work with Nicole, I want to work with Shada, I'm like, okay, cool. Do I like this person? Do I think this person's cool? And if I do, and your brand aligns with mine, then we're going to work, you know, regardless of what your business is. So seeing that shift in the creator economy has been really, really cool. Yeah, and I think it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I do. I think it gives the power back to the creator or to the individual. And as you say, it removes the barriers a little bit. They're still there for sure. But I do think it's exciting to see, definitely. And how has it affected casting in particular? Because that must have, the landscape of casting must have changed so much over the past 10 years.
Yeah. Do you know what? It has changed a bit. I would say, it's interesting because casting's a weird one, right? Because let's say AI has come into play. We're seeing, videos are being made by AI and it's looking scary. It's like scary good. Like it's looking scary good right now. And with casting, the process is still the same. If we're talking about the casting process, how do you source talent? How do you...
For someone that doesn't know, like, could you just give us an overview of what that looks like?
Okay, cool.
So someone gives you a brief.
Someone gives me a brief. They're saying, we want these 2 beautiful ladies to be part of our campaign with this major sports brand. One has blonde hair, one has dark hair. That's what we're looking for this brief. So then we'll tap into our database for us at LaVille, because we have a database of 20,000 people. We'll tap in, see if we have people that fit the brief. We'll send those people. If they don't like them and they're like, no, these people are not suitable for the brief that we've sent to you, we'll then put out an open casting call. So then we'll put out an open casting call. So that could be a flyer that goes on social media. It could be us tapping into other companies that we work with or collaborate with and say, hey, we're looking for these 2 beautiful people to be in this project, or these 2 wonderful people, these 2 charismatic people. Can you help us find them? They'll send us options. The team will filter through the options. And then when they filter through the options, they'll be like, okay, these are our best 5 for the blonde lady. These are the best 5 for the darker hair lady. Put them into a deck, send that deck off to the client. The client will be like, right, we like Nicole, we like Charlotte, we like Chrissy, we like this person. We'll then send the offer to the talent and say to the talent, hey, client likes you, but they're making the decision. We'll let you know tomorrow or within 24 hours whether or not they have selected you. And then once they have selected the people that they want, we make the offer to the talent again and say, hey, this is the fee, this is what you're going to get paid. These are the details, full details for the shoot. And then we'll book them for the shoot, give them everything they need, whether it's a car to come pick them up from their house, or if it's, just the information about where the shoot is, styling briefs, all of these things, what they need to do with their hair. And then we'll send them to set. And then, it's all rosy from there, providing they turn up, So,
oh my God, have you ever had that?
Oh, of course, man. But usually for I wouldn't want to say smaller projects to minimize anything, but it could be for a project that doesn't pay as much as others. So when that happens, it can be frustrating because as a casting company, we've done all we could to bring that person to production. And it happens with all casting companies. It's not limited to one. It happens to everyone. Someone might be ill. They might have to fly to Spain because their granddad, I don't know, loved one passed away. It could be they don't have money to get to set, but they don't want to say anything and they're ashamed to say it. It could be so many different reasons. But what we always try to do is go through a vigorous vetting process to make sure that the talent is good, they're reliable, they can get to set for our clients. Because you can't imagine if you're a big client and you said, we want this person, you've prepped everything. You said, oh, this is the styling, we're going to use the sizing, we bought the clothes, we've got this, we've got that. And then we're coming saying, hey, sorry, they're not going to turn up.
How do you protect yourself in that instant? Like, do you sometimes have a backup prepared? Or
So what we'll have is a B list, which sounds, a bit sad, but unfortunately, sometimes you just gotta, protect yourself in every instance.
And on the flip side, like you say, you've got your database of 20,000 people. Like how did you select those 20,000? Like how did you find them?
Yeah, so initially it was all via email. So when we put out open casting, because we didn't have a database before, so they all sent us emails and said, hey, here's my headshot, here's my contact number, here's my email, here's my full address, etc. And then of course we have to go through the GDPR stuff just to make sure we're protecting people's information. And then we worked with a third-party company to create a database and have a place where we can actually see everyone's information. So people now can sign up on our website and all their information is in one place. So yeah, we just migrated the people from the emails to our database, and yeah, it's been growing ever since. Throughout that process, you've got to double check because some people are strange and you get some weird applications, some weird pictures. You get
I bet.
Yeah.
So if we want to join your casting agency, you know, what would you look for in us, and like, what should we not do? How should we hide our weirdness? What weird things can we not do?
Listen, if you could be weird and quirky, but don't, you know, there's you have to be professional. How you come across on first impressions.
Mm-hmm.
So if you send us an email and you've got grammatical errors all over the place, you've got a picture where half of your face is showing, or you're doing like peace signs and stuff like this, or like, you know, your girl's in the background and you're just doing all of these things, we're like, okay, please. If you approach us and you have a clear headshot, a nice 3/4 length image as well, showcasing your physique, and a full length body image, that's great. If you can construct your email and you can speak clearly, and your grammatical and your language and everything around that is clear, we love it. If you're prompt on your responses, we also love that as well. So we look at those things as like a first stage filter, and we're like, okay, cool. This person is like, they're professional, or they understand how to operate in the industry. There's the other side where someone wants to get into the industry and they might not know what to do. And we can sometimes sense like, oh, they're trying, they're really keen, but they don't know how to communicate in this space. So we'll take the time to be like, hey, maybe you should consider constructing your email like this if you want to approach us or any other company as well. And yeah, we'll look for those things, and hopefully we'll jump on a phone call with you, have opportunity to chat to you and see, okay, cool. Have they just strolled in from a night out in the morning and they're, you know, they're sounding a bit lackadaisical in certain areas? Or are they, you know, able to communicate effectively? And, you know, because they're going to represent us when we're not there. If you're with our client, the way you speak to them is essentially a representation of LaVille. So we have to make sure that, you know, you're professional at all times. So that's kind of the process that we go through.
Yeah. The first kind of way into the industry, I worked in casting for a couple of years, and some applications were just bad. You just think, like, even I was, 20, even I was like, okay, I wouldn't, they'll be sending in pictures with like, sometimes like a bit inappropriate pictures, Yeah,
so I've seen all types of pictures. I'm not sure the worst ones that you see. I've seen ones with people with their dogs. I've seen people like jumping into a swimming pool. I've just seen the strangest pictures. I'm just like, how are we going to cast you with this? You're just making our job 10 times harder. So yeah, you know the game yourself. So yeah, just please send us clear pictures with your headshots and keep it simple.
Yeah, simple, concise, clear.
Clear, crisp. That's it.
Yeah. And I'm sure you must get so many, particularly young people, reaching out to you and saying, like, how do I get in the industry? Like, how do I get my foot in the door? What is your advice to those young people? Like, what would you say?
Yeah, so for young people wanting to get into the industry, I would just say, first and foremost, try and network and get to as many events within the industry as possible. Someone's always going to give you a shot, and you just got to be ready. That's all it is. So if you go to an event and you see someone who's in the industry, this is another piece of advice I give to young people. Don't look at who the loudest person in the room is. That doesn't always necessarily mean that's going to be the person that's doing the most or the most successful, or is going to give you the opportunity. Could be the person standing in the corner just observing. If you go to them and give them something positive and just start off the conversation saying something nice. Hey, I like your trainers. Or, oh, where'd you get that jacket from? Don't even come saying, oh, I want to be in the industry. How can you help me? See how you can align with someone. And then from there, build a relationship. Try and ask genuine questions. God gave us 1 mouth and 2 ears for a reason. Try and listen to people. And yeah, from that, you start to build relationships, and someone will introduce you to someone. Someone will be like, oh, do you know what? Okay, maybe I can't help you, but my friend who works in casting has a great company. Let me introduce you to that person. And because that is a referral and recommendation, it's going to hold a lot more weight, especially if you made a good first impression. So I'll definitely say networking. I say look out for programs online. Like we used to have loads of initiatives online. If you wanted to get into casting or production, we had our creative fund that we used to do, which we'll hopefully bring back in the near future. And yeah, just look out online for different things. Be on LinkedIn. LinkedIn's a great platform to meet people. You can search for castings on Twitter. Twitter can be a bit of a funny place at times, or X, should we call it. Facebook groups, I think some people still use them. That's a common place. But yeah, just be proactive in meeting people. Let people see you, and apply to as many casting agencies as you can with good headshots, not ones with your dog or anything like that, or jumping into a swimming pool. With good headshots. And then, yeah, I think doors should open up for you sooner rather than later.
Those 2 pictures really got under your skin, didn't they?
Stuck in my head. I have nightmares about it.
You run an event, don't you?
Yeah.
Called
Live and Chill.
Yeah.
So when do they happen? What happens there?
Yeah, so Live and Chill. So
what's the next one?
The next
We
one.
wanna come.
We would have come. So Live and Chill started off in, I think, 2017, 2018, when we were partnered up with O2. So we used to do them at Go Think Big when they had the hub in Hoxton Square, which is incredible. So we started off there. Our host, Swazi McCallie, incredible. And then we did it for a year there. Then Red Bull, we worked with Red Bull. We partnered up with them, got a bigger venue, bigger space, Red Bull drinks. It was lovely. And we did quite a few events with them, and that was really, really cool as well. And then we took a little bit of a break because of lockdown. And then we came back and we did one on Dalston Rooftop, which was really cool, like a big event. The purpose of Living and Chill was just to bring a bunch of creatives together. Come and have fun, come and dance, come and sing, meet new people, just have a good time, you know, and build your network. And kind of find your community. You know, sometimes as creators, we're looking for our tribe. It's like, oh, is the Living and Chill crowd my tribe? So we've done that. We've worked at Soho House as well, which has been really cool. So we've done an event there, and yeah, we really love it. You know, it's a fun staple of the LaVille brand. And people really do have a great time when they come to our events.
Because it is all about collaboration, our industry. Like, you can't do it on your own. Like, it is, you know, you need to network and meet people and find your tribe, as you say, to be able to make the good work that you want to do, you know?
Yeah, collaboration is key. Collaboration is key, and I think as creators we always have to remember that, you know, you're not going to build anything great by yourself. Like, all the best projects that you've seen, I can guarantee you at least 2 people worked on it.
Yeah, at least 2.
At least 2 people worked. So yeah, collaboration is key, and I think, you know, as we continue to grow and the barriers lower down, collaborate with your friends, collaborate with new people, reach out to people. You know, everyone wants to work, everyone wants to tell their story in one way or another. So yeah,
we've touched on it a little bit, but you know, it's great that we're seeing so much progress, but I do think there's still a long way to go. Like, if there was one thing about the industry that you would change, what would that be?
Yeah, I'll definitely say increased representation. I want to see more roles for Black women on screen. I want to see more roles for Black people behind the camera. I want to see more roles for women as well. You know, like, I want to see like how you two have built something incredible here. Like, I want to see more of that, you know. Also, this one's going to be a funny one, but start paying people on time.
Ola, this is like my Roman Empire. The amount of massive brands we work with that pay late is shocking, and they have giant accounts teams, and we're like this tiny, you know, startup essentially, and we're bankrolling these massive brands. What is that?
And we pay our crew on time.
And we pay our crew on time always.
Listen, me and you could sit here and have a 10-hour discussion about that. But I really think it's something in the industry that needs to change. But these massive brands, you know, of course, they're dealing with invoices on a different level. I get it, right? But you have a team to deal with it. So start paying creators on time. Start paying small businesses on time, because a lot of small businesses rely on that cash flow to pay their team. It's not even like they're using that money to go on holiday. It's like, we just want to keep the lights on.
Live.
We just want to live, you know what I mean? So, you know, I think it's important.
Do you think there's something in, because what we do, it is exciting, it is fun, and it's creative, and people want to be doing it? Do you think sometimes it gets, you know, there's an air of, oh, well, you enjoy it, so money shouldn't be important to you, or like, you know, you shouldn't get paid for it? Or we still, I've worked in production 10 years, Charlotte 15, and we'll still get approached to work for exposure. We're like, we're exposed. We've been doing it for 10 years.
Yeah.
We're in it, you know?
Look, I agree with that, because do you know what it is? I feel a lot of these macro-sized companies, I actually don't understand how much work goes into creating something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you were to put them on set, even forget that. Even do pre-production. Come and do the pre-production.
Fly on the wall pre-production.
Come and be a fly on the wall in pre-production. All the PPM meetings. See if you really enjoy that process. And then you go and do the production day. 14 hours, 16 hours, sometimes 18 hours. And then you got to go and do the next day again and do the same thing.
For 6 weeks.
For 6 weeks with no sleep. And you've got to come with the enthusiasm, the commitment, and you have to deliver. But I just feel like they don't understand the amount of work that goes into it. Because of what you said. It's creative, it's entertaining. It all looks like fun. But the crew do so much work. They work so hard to make sure that they get a great product at the end of it. So I feel it needs to be valued. So I always say to, the bigger clients, come on set. Come on set the whole day. Just come with your little green room and you got your pastries and your coffees in front of you. Come and spend the whole day on set and see the amount of work that goes into it. And I think there will be a level of appreciation for it, but they just feel like it's fun.
How important do you think from the talent side is having a social media presence now? Is it something that you think everyone needs to have in order to kind of get a leg up?
I feel it makes it easier because we live in a digital world. I feel you do need a presence. There's also the side of it that's kind of sexy if you don't have a presence.
Mysterious.
It's mysterious. It's like, ooh, she just popped out. Nicole's just come out today. All right, cool. Never see her. But I do feel, generally speaking, it is important. People want to see who they're connecting with. People want to see who's delivering this message. So I do feel having a personal brand and social media presence is quite important. However, I also feel you have to remember it's a tool. It's not something that you have to have. If you want to strip back and pull back from social media and take a break, please do it, because it does put a lot of pressure on a lot of creatives. It puts a lot of pressure on a lot of people.
It takes a lot of time.
It takes a lot of time.
And it doesn't always give you that monetary reward either. I think that's a bit of a myth too. It's
a big myth. It's a big myth. I know people with 500,000, 1 million followers on the IG that can't get a brand deal, or they can't. Yeah, they can't get anything because, for example, they might have 500,000 followers, but they might have attained those followers from back in the day. And the people that are their audience have grown up. They might not engage on the platform the same way. So their comments and engagement might be low, but their follower count might be high. So brands are now, it's not like how it was back in the day. If you had 1 million followers, they'll pay you £1 million. Now it's like, okay, you got 1 million followers. Okay, but what's your reach? What's your engagement? The metrics are actually being analyzed. It's changed now. So yeah, the game has shifted, but I do feel social media presence is important. Let me flip it around to you. What do you think?
I agree. I think you want to have a shop window essentially for yourself, and even when we look at crew, sometimes we'll get a referral, or we'll look and get a
recommendation.
Yeah, recommendation. Reference as well. I was thinking, we'll get a reference from someone. But a lot of the time, the industry's super fast paced. You need someone for tomorrow. The quickest and easiest thing is, okay, look on their Instagram. Who are they following? Do we have mutual kind of crew connections in common? Look at their feeds. Can I get a sense that they're working, that they know what they're doing? That is just the quickest way. But I also know on the flip side, that same thing, I know people who have loads of followers, really slick looking social media, but they're not working. So it's not everything. And I think particularly for the younger generation, maybe it's insinuated that it is. But as you say, getting out there in real life and networking with people will always trump that, I think.
100%. And I don't think anything will ever be real life connections. You just have to go and connect with people, look them in the eye and be like, hey, this is what I do. Can we collaborate, after you get to know them, so yeah, I fully agree with everything you said there.
And well, I have one question, which is just why LaVille? Where did LaVille come from?
What the name?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always get asked this question, to be fair. So, La Ville in French means the town, the city, the village.
The city
And
boy.
yeah, city boy, right? And I wanted to build like a town or a city of creatives. And, you know, I could have had like media this, you know, this camera this company or whatever, or casting this. But I just thought I want this name to kind of stand alone. So when people see it, it stands out for whatever reason. And I just thought LaVille was just a great way to differentiate ourselves from the potential competition. And I think it worked out well for us, to be honest.
It does. You've got a really clear branding. Like when you look in your site and your socials and stuff, it's like really clear who you are and what you do. It's really great.
No, thank you.
We're going to do the peak and the pits. We always do like your best kind of career achievement and then your lowest. But what's the most outrageous kind of job that you've worked on?
You know, sometimes in life they say don't meet your heroes. Yeah.
Okay.
And when you do, and you realize, wow, that's how you treat people. You know, that's how you talk to people. That's how you communicate with people. It's so disheartening because you think you're in this position because of your talent, your hard work, your gifts, your team, whoever's helped you get there. And when you are there, the way you talk to people and disrespect people is just so. It's almost embarrassing, you know. And what I'll say to that, because I will try and make things positive, is when you see that type of individual, they could be going through something. You never know. They could have just had a bad day. But try not to be that person. Look at them and see what they do bad and do the opposite thing. You know, I think it's always important to give people time, listen to them, talk to them. Just treat everyone with respect. Don't be rude to people. And I think you'll go a long way in this industry because people talk, you know, people are like, oh, I love Nicole. Nicole's lovely.
And it's a lot smaller than you think, this industry.
Especially in London, it's tiny. It's tiny. Through us three alone, we can probably get around to 90% of people in crew.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean?
And as you say, like people talk, and if you are difficult, people will know very quickly. You know, the phone will stop ringing.
There's certainly people that I won't work with ever again. You know, like.
Yeah, you see already. Like, we know. Yeah, and I fully understand that. And it's the same for me. You know, there's people that I wouldn't work with again because of how they are and how they communicate.
Let's start with the pits. We can end on the high. But like, what was your kind of either biggest challenge or your lowest moment career-wise?
Just before lockdown and during lockdown. And it was a time where, like, in the space of maybe 3 to 4 months, like about 6 or 7 people, my team, all left. Not because they didn't like what we were doing, not because we clashed or we had problems, or it was a combination of, you got locked down, there's less money available, so we're not scaling up. Then they have bills to pay. They've got children on the way. They've got their partners they want to marry. They've got to find money from somewhere, so they couldn't commit to us anymore. So then losing such a core part of that team at that time, especially at that time, like lockdown, man, it was hard. And sometimes people don't realize the impact of that, because just as much as they rely on you, you rely on them. And it's not just for work. Like, it's social, it's communication, it's camaraderie, is all of these things that we don't often speak about, you know, as founders, where it's like, oh, I need their energy too, because being a founder is a really lonely thing.
It's heavy sometimes.
Heavy. The buck stops with you. Like, the final decision ends with you. If there's something that goes wrong, it's your fault, regardless of who's in the team. And when you lose that support, and then the industry's in a bad place, it's almost like, oh my God, where do I turn to? Who's my soundboard? Who do I can't even talk to anyone about it because the chunk of people have gone. And you can't be mad at them because I understand it. Like, you got to live your life. Like, I'm not mad. You're going with my blessing. So that was probably the biggest challenge, you know. That's what I was saying.
And how did you kind of pick yourself up from that?
I cried.
Oh.
Well,
Hey, I wouldn't joke.
Yeah, no.
I do
no.
all the time.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's like
I do
weekly.
weekly, every day. No, I would say, again, as entrepreneurs, you just try and make things happen, right? Like, that's the entrepreneurial spirit. That's what sets the great from the good. Like, you just keep on going. And I thought, okay, this is an opportunity to refresh. This is an opportunity to audit what I have, to look at recruiting new members of the team, to see where I can strengthen things, to see how we can operate functionally better. And yeah, it's just slowly making recruits to kind of fill those voids that were no longer there. And then what was kind of strange during lockdown was, as I mentioned earlier on, with the initiative around BLM and supporting Black businesses, a lot of companies came our way. So all of a sudden, like, opportunities were there. Like, we were working on productions with great people. So many castings were coming in. We're like, well, everyone's meant to be at home. Why are we casting? No one asked no questions. So yeah, it was really, really good. So we managed to pick ourselves up, managed to use people around me as a soundboard, managed to have good conversations with good friends in the industry. And then bada bing, bada boom, D-Base. Yeah. And then, with MeWe and Deutsche Bank and things just continue to pick up from there, which was really, 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 really good. So yeah.
Amazing. And then
the high.
The high. What's the high? What's the high?
I find often there's the on paper high. So there's like the job that is so shiny that everyone goes like, oh my God, that must have been like a wow career moment.
Yeah.
But that's not often the high that you feel inside, because often that's been like really hard, or like that took a lot of energy out of you. Like, so yeah, maybe there's two. Maybe there's one that you felt like was a personal great time, and another one where it's like the most shiny job.
Yeah, okay. That's a great way to break it down, actually. Okay, on paper, high job. I would say when we worked on The Kitchen, that was really cool. Netflix feature film. I think that was just nice to be able to work with Netflix, a big company. You're working on a big project. You got Daniel Kaluuya, who's the director / writer on it. You've got Kano, who's starring in it. You've got a breakthrough actor who we cast in a music video for Skepta like years ago. So seeing him make his first debut feature, we're like, oh my God, this is so good. So that was like a really, really good moment, like on paper for us. And it brought around a lot of jobs, like, because what you realize in this industry is like, when people see you doing certain things, it's like, oh, you can do this. Okay, come and work on this project, come work on this one. So it was really cool. And on a personal, I'd say the D-Base was really cool, man. Like, when we won the award and the fund, that was really, really nice, because like I mentioned, it was that time when my team was changing, and just got to meet so many great people. And then going through that process, because the process was quite
intense.
It was quite intense.
It was like 3 rounds and like live interview.
Someone that doesn't know, because I don't know about this whole process.
Okay, so maybe you can explain it. It would be good for you to explain it.
So it was a fund, like basically a pitching competition, wasn't it? So you pitched your business. It had to have like a social kind of cause at the heart of it, that you were addressing. And there were like 3 rounds. There was like a application round, and then there were 3 rounds of interview, and the last one was like a live pitch. So it was to a panel. That was quite like Dragon's Den style, and it was like they were asking tough questions in that panel. So it was an intense like process to go through.
Very, very intense. But I guess what's on the other side of that is when you are awarded something, you do feel good, because you're like, oh. These lot believe in my idea. Oh, they like what I'm saying. And then being on stage with your peers as well, who are also doing amazing things, like, was just such a lovely thing to see. And just being celebrated for the work that you do, like you said, with a social cause, it means a lot, because then it's the validation that you're chasing, but you're not chasing, because you do it out of the goodness of your heart. It should be that way anyway. But then when you see someone recognize that, it feels nice. And to be able to be in that space was really, really cool. And I remember straight after that, I had to fly to Cannes. So,
I had to jet off to Cannes.
just had to jet off to Cannes, you know. But yeah, so I went to Cannes straight after, and then when I went to Cannes, I just had the best time. You know, got to meet so many incredible people that I'm working with today. You know, going there, if I didn't take that punt to go there and network with people, I wouldn't have done some of the things I'm doing now. So yeah, that I remember that week being a very pivotal week, and that was a real high. So yeah, I'll say that.
The turning point potentially.
Yeah, definitely a good turning point, for sure. Yeah. See, I'm even smiling thinking about it now.
He's leaving on a high.
Yeah, so it's really good. Really good. And I got to meet you as well.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was great. And the like group of people that got brought together was so amazing. As you say, to be able to like meet other people doing, you know, in different industries, but like all something that changes in a positive way their industry. I think that's like really powerful. Yeah. And I think what you're doing is amazing, and you're having so much success, and I've loved watching it for the last year since I've known you.
Oh, thank you. And likewise to you, like seeing the growth of everything that you're doing. You saying to me, I'm not going to say what it was, but you were saying, oh, I'm going to do this thing, and then you ended up doing it. I'm like, amazing. So yeah, seeing the growth of what you've got going on, and you know, you got the cups, guys.
Yeah,
pay attention. You know what I mean?
You know you've made it when you've got a cup.
You know you made it exactly. You know, and all the incredible work that you're doing with your major clients, like, well done, honestly.
Well, likewise. Thank you so much for coming on
and
sharing your experience.
Lovely meeting you.
No, lovely meeting you as well. And thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's always so lovely to chat to Ola. He's just got such a charisma about him. And I think he's worked on some really, really cool projects. And his career trajectory as well has been really, really interesting. Like the growth of LaVille and what he's kind of the way that the business has changed is really cool to hear.
I wasn't aware he'd been an actor before.
No, me neither. But it tracks, right? Because he's super kind of charismatic, and he has a presence. Yeah, it makes sense. And it also makes sense how he can understand talent so well, because he's kind of dabbled in both sides of the coin.
Talent.
Yeah, exactly. I thought as well, it's funny, like always the same problems, or like the same, you know, fighting to get paid on time, fighting to get paid fairly, you know, dealing with people management. It's all like the same, isn't it?
The same things that we understand. So yeah, it was nice to kind of hear his perspective on it as well, and kind of it validates our experience as well, doesn't it, when we're not the only ones going through it.
I know, yeah, sometimes it is like misery loves company in that sense of at least someone else is going through it as well.
And we'll definitely be going to the LaVille and Chill event, won't we?
For sure. So get yourself to the LaVille and Chill. I will be there, so will Charlotte. We'll be shaking it. So thank you so much for watching this episode of On-Set Secrets. As always, if you enjoyed, please subscribe, comment, share. We're across all podcast platforms, and of course our YouTube channel where you can watch it happen in real time.
We hope you enjoyed the episode, and hopefully see you on the next one.
Bye. Bye.